Greetings. I'm the Computer King, the supervillain of streaming. And it's day 4 of National Novel Writing Month, the month of November, well, facilitated by NaNoWriMo.org, which is the first syllables of National Novel Writing Month, NaNoWriMo.org. Which is a pretty cool site. It's got lots of things to help writers. It's basically a support system for people trying to write and challenging themselves to write 50,000 words in 1 month towards having a novel written. Nothing to do with getting published, nothing to do with making money. It's about liking writing, enjoying writing, and learning to write better through experience. So I'm writing a story on superhumans, and currently my word count is 8,575 words. That means today I wrote about 1,500 words, which is really cool. As long as I keep writing and putting in the effort, I'll get more words in, get more of my ideas across. Sometimes it's a little tough. Sometimes it's a little hard to express myself, but I figure it out. Now about typos. Oh, typos. I don't go back to fix typos most of the time now. I'm trying to get words down on paper, and anything that begins with a letter, has a bunch of letters in the middle, and ends with a letter, that's a word. I can figure out what word it's supposed to be later. I'm trying to get more words going on paper. Hello, Melania, over on Periscope. Nice to meet you. I'm the Computer King, the supervillain of streaming. Hello, Dante Davis, and Mr. Goldie 24 Carat on Periscope as well. I was talking about writing. Sorry, I can't get you on the dark web. That would be improper of me. Maybe if somebody sends you an anonymous email as to how to do such, it wouldn't be me. I'm here to talk about writing. Not for long. This is a short stream. This is me rambling a bit to let people know I'm still writing, and I didn't slack off today and not write any words. 1,500's a pretty good amount. Took me 3 hours. Funny, in the first day I did like 2,000 words plus in 3 hours, but who's counting? Oh wait, I am. Besides, writing, it's pretty cool. Making yourself something. It's artistic. You put down words on paper and suddenly you have something that you made. Print it out if you want to. Doesn't have to be. Heck, some people still use a pencil or a pen, a typewriter. It's all about how you express yourself, how you feel comfortable. I was thinking maybe of talking about the NaNoWriMo site, but talking about being comfortable in your writing is a good topic to just blurt out and finish with, because I started this stream later than usual. I was playing games on my last stream, so I got stuck in it, and it was so much fun. That doesn't mean I didn't write, fortunately. One of these days I might accidentally not write. I don't want that to happen. especially when I've been doing pretty good so far. Haven't hit the wall yet. But it's coming soon. There are some parts I don't know where to put in yet. And then I go over in my mind what I've written, and I think maybe I should reorganize it into different sections in different places. And I'm like, nope, not now. That's something for later. Getting words down on the page is my idea. It's my goal. When I started doing these writing blogs, I kept saying, getting it down on paper. People don't use paper as much anymore, do they? Except in high school and when printing things out. And I remember the days when you used to have to write things by hand. My handwriting's horrible. So the dawn of the computer age, where you can do everything with a keyboard. Oh, I loved it. And I've loved writing like that. Heck, I loved writing when I did it on a typewriter. Creating something. That's what it's about. If you want to create something and you have a talent, I don't know how much of a talent I have, but I can get words down on paper. And I used to get A's in English. So, that's, well, actually, it's B's in English. I got A's in math. Every time. But English was my second favorite subject. Now, I don't do much math. You know all those stories when you were in high school about math not having to use math in your day-to-day life? Well, in a lot of jobs you don't. At least you don't use trigonometry, geometry, algebra. Simple adding and subtracting, multiplying and dividing. That's what most jobs are about. But some of the really big jobs, they'll require all that stuff. Especially engineers. Went to engineering school, you know. Well, I guess you don't know. Because you don't know who I am. Secret identity and all. And surprise, I'm Neil deGrasse Tyson. No, I'm kidding. But really, I like the act of writing. I like getting ideas on paper. I like coming up with weird ideas in my head. So getting them down on the screen, I said on paper again, didn't I? Getting them down gets them out of my head. It's not something I start thinking about and dreaming about. Because when I decided I was going to do NaNoWriMo, I decided it in September. It was hard to wait the first month. September to October, I was dreaming about this book. I had so many scenes I wanted to get done. I had so many scenes in my head. Now that I'm writing it down, I've gotten a couple of good scenes in. Or like one really good scene. And I'm building toward another. I don't dream of it anymore. And in between, in October, I had decided to put it out of my mind for a bit, so I don't drive myself crazy before November 1st. I had so many ideas that when November 1st came, I started at midnight, wrote till 3 a.m., and got a lot of words down. That's why it's only the 4th day and I'm up to 8,000. Hey, the Curious Camel. How are you doing? I'm the Computer King, the supervillain of streaming, and I'm talking about the art of writing and the fact that November is National Novel Writing Month, and I'm trying to write a novel about superhumans. But really it's about people. And yes, most people will say, well, aren't most books about people? I would say yes and no. Yes, they're about people in that they have people in it. But a lot of superhuman stories are about the adventure that they go on, and I mean the Wild Card series, which I love. They have overarching plots, sweeping stories, big stories, and it's about the big story, not necessarily specifically about the people, but it can close in on them at times. I know Curious Camel. I've seen some of the TV shows that show some of the folks and what they can do. Like the guy who can sit in it. Oh, he said that people have superpowers in reality. Sorry. I forget that the chat doesn't show up over here or over here. I have to add that to this screen. There's a guy who can sit in ice cold water for hours at a time and not die of hypothermia. There's the kid who can drew a map of New York City, a picture, not totally photorealistic, but detailed enough that you can see where every building is after having done one flyover in a helicopter. People have superpowers in reality, somewhat, but you know, when you're writing a superhuman novel, David Blaine is a magician. That's different. That's different. I put David Blaine in the same box as I put Chris Angel. I can't say they're not great showmen, but some of their acts have been busted. Hello, Sir Hat. You catch me at the tail end of my second stream where I talk about writing fiction, in my case, about people who run around in costumes as superheroes and people who have abilities as useless as being able to light the cigarette with the tip of their finger. I know that's not entirely useless, but I'm not going to go into the logistics of my book and why it's not necessarily the best thing in the world to have powers in my world. I'm still not sure whether I'm going to put in a supervillain at the moment, at least not in the first novel, the first section of the novel, because there's a antagonist bigger than any single supervillain could be. And that's what I have to get to. Haven't gotten to that part because I need to think over the logistics of how they're going to do what they're doing and whether it makes sense. That's another thing. Even if you're writing fiction, shit has to make sense. So when I write something, I go look at it and like, no, that's dumb. Or, no, he couldn't do that, it would break something. Or, no, he couldn't do that, it would break the thing he's doing it on. So, writing is juggling a lot of things. And if you juggle something and drop the ball on it, maybe someone won't catch it, but maybe somebody will. You have to catch it and fix it. And that's what editing's for. Right now, I can write down any old shit I want. And all I can do is fix it later. Right now, it's about getting volume down. Words on a page. Words on the screen. Words on the screen. And it doesn't matter that I've written somewhere between 8 and 10 pages. Wow. 14 pages. And I've just gotten to the point where people have a good idea about the type of people the main characters are. I haven't even gotten deep into what makes them want what they want, and that means I'm probably going to write about that tomorrow. Because I've seen what I haven't put in yet, and that's a detriment to me. I need to put it in. I need people to understand the characters as well as psychotic time traveler. Well, the idea I had originally was for somebody psychotic, but psychotic with a different power. Don't worry. The master from you're thinking the master from Doctor Who, psychotic time villain. But I think that's about it for me to talk about writing today. Over 8,000 words. Wait, was that over 8,000 or 8,500 word count? Over 8,500 words in 4 days. 28 days to go. 26 days to go before the end of the month. Will I get to 50,000? I certainly hope so. I'm doing my damnedest to keep writing every day. Keep it going. Keep the ball rolling. So, until tomorrow, when my first stream, I'll be playing probably PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds. And then, of course, my second stream tomorrow, which is this, but with a different number. I want to remind you before I go, have a good night, everyone. But stay evil.